Good afternoon, everybody in Facebook land. How are y'all today? We've had a busy day around here today. I went to Bible study this morning, and this afternoon I went to the pig, and I got something that I think that some of you probably have eaten, and there may be some of you who have never eaten this. This is called salt pork, and what it says is cured salt pork fatback. Now, I was raised on fatback. Let me tell you, it is so good. And it's cured. And sometimes, there's a lot of things you can do with it. You can just fry it and eat it, which I love and my whole family loves. Let me open up this package so you can see how it looks. So this is fatback. This is from a pig. I know y'all know all this, but I will share it with you anyway. Anyway, this is from a pig, and that part right there is the skin of the pig. And when you fry it, that gets real crispy. So you want, if you're buying this, you want to make sure that you get the one that's got a little thin skin on it. And some people, I've heard them call this streak of lean, or in the South we just say streak of lean. You know, it kind of blend it all into one word. Well, this has a streak of lean, but most of it is fat. Sometimes when you get it and you feel of it, you'll feel a saltiness all over it. So if you do that, a lot of times I just wash mine off. This one doesn't feel very salty, so I'm not going to wash it, but you fry this. And let me show you some different things you can do with it. All right, some people, let me show you this. They cut off a little piece of it, and I've done this too, about like that, kind of that thick. And you put this in your vegetables when you boil it, like peas or turnips or that kind of thing. And my mother always did this. She would cut it down to the skin like that. Let me show you how she did it. She cut it like this. She didn't cut the skin, but she cut it like that. And she would drop that in her peas, or she'd drop it in her turnip greens. And y'all, it is so good. And my daddy would always dip in there and get some of this. And I love it too. I love the salt pork. But anyway, that's one way you can do it. Now, and here's another way you can do it. You just cut it in little thin strips like this. About like that. Like a thick cut bacon. And you just put it in your skillet, and we're going to fry it real slow. Now let me tell you something. Some people flour theirs. In other words, they roll this in a little self-rising flour or plain flour. Anyway, y'all, you can slice this like bacon. So that's what I'm going to do right here. And you want to make sure that you leave on the that little hard part right there, the little skin, and I'm going to fill this little fryer up over here, and I'm going to turn it on. And you want to cook it kind of slow so that it gets real crispy. And like I say, you could flour this and put salt and pepper on it. But if you've never tried it, you're going to love it. I've had some people from the north to come eat with me, and they've never eaten fatback. And I fixed them some, and they loved it too. You just kind of nibble on it. It's just really good. All right, I'm going to put quite a few in here in my little skillet. And another thing you can do with this too, after you fry it, of course you're going to have quite a bit of grease in the bottom of your skillet because of the fat. Well, you remember the other day when I did that cream style corn and how good it was? I shucked it and I creamed it, called fried corn, or you know, the southern fried corn. Well, once you fry this fatback, you can put a tad of this grease in with that corn, and you talking about good old honey. It is good. It is good, let me tell you. So I'm looking forward to eating this stuff, I'm telling you. So anyway, so I'm going to just cook that many. See, I've got it in a little skillet. Ooh, that's hot. Ooh. Okay. Anyway, I've got it in my little skillet. And then, so that's three things you can do with it. You can put it in your vegetables, boil. You can fry it like this, and you can use the grease in it to make, to put it in your corn or maybe some, if you were doing some smothered fried squash, like stewed squash, you can put it in that. I'm going to turn it down low now. And, you know, you just use it for so many things. And lots of times when I make tomato gravy, I do it like this. I fry me some fatback and then serve the fatback, you know, separate, and then have your tomato gravy. And then you make you some biscuits. So for supper that night, you're going to have fatback, biscuits, and tomato gravy. And that's all you're going to have. Maybe a cup of coffee or a glass of milk for the children. And I'm telling you, that is one good supper. All right, come over here and look now. We've got it frying real good. And I might even have it too high. You've got to fry it real slow. Got to fry it real slow. Okay, listen, I want to tell y'all this morning, while that's frying, I want to tell you, this morning when I went to my Bible study, they got to talking about being alive and being dead. You know, there's a lot of people that are walking around. They're walking around and talking and, you know, visiting with folks and cooking and working and going to school. But in their spirit and in their heart, they're just dead. They're just, it's like they're just kind of existing for the moment. But when you got Jesus in your heart, you're living, you're alive. And our churches should be alive, not just going up there and doing, you know, singing and listening to the preaching and being a dead church, but to be one that's alive for Christ. And this woman, she was telling about this chicken, y'all, and I had never heard this story, and I'm sure some of you have. So I came home and I looked it up on the internet. She said that there was a chicken, and it was like in okay, the phone rang, it stopped me, let me start over. Anyway, this chicken, the farmer was going to, it happened way out in the west. Excuse me. He was going to have fried chicken that night. His wife was going to cook it, so she told him to go out there and to chop that chicken's head off. And you know, some of y'all that don't live on a farm and never seen that, well, it's an unusual sight, because I've seen it. I've seen my granny do it, and my big daddy cut the chicken head off, and when they cut the head off, whew, it's tough. Wait a minute, let me turn it, y'all. Excuse me. When they cut the chicken, sorry, another phone call. When the chicken's head's cut off, that chicken just runs around, he runs into things and bruises the meat up. So a lot of times when you chop the head off, or some people used to wring it off, they put the chicken under a bucket so it wouldn't get all bruised up. It just run around till it died. Well, this man, he went out in his yard, he cut the chicken's head off, and the chicken didn't die. It did not die. So anyway, it just kept on living and running around out in the yard and everything, and it wouldn't die. So they caught the chicken and put it in a box thinking it would die. Next morning, the chicken was still alive. Well, that chicken lived 18 months. Can you believe that? 18 months it lived. And so they put it in a sideshow, and they made money off of that chicken because they were going around the area and doing sideshows with it's called the headless chicken. Well, anyway, come to find out, and to keep it alive, since it couldn't eat, they fed it with a medicine dropper thing through his throat that was still left on there. They fed him through that, and so he lived. I mean, so anyway, so finally something happened to the chicken, and after 18 months, I think it got choked, is what they said. It died. So they sent it off to be looked at or investigated. Come to find out, there was a blood clot where they chopped the chicken's head off. There was a blood clot at the end of its neck, and it stopped the blood from flowing out, so the chicken lived. The heart and everything was going, and the blood was moving through the chicken, so it lived. But can you believe that? And so anyway, the reason that they brought that up at Bible study was we don't want to be like that. Have you ever heard the expression, I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off? Well, that's probably where that came from. And we don't want to do that. We want to live. And to live, you got to have a direction. And you've got to know what you're doing, plan what you're doing, and do the best you can with it. And the Lord helps us do that. He helps us do that. He gives us that spirit that passes all understanding, and that we can live our life and be joyful in it. Even in there's a difference between joy and happiness. Happiness comes and goes. It comes and goes. You're happy one minute, sad the next, disgusted the next. But joy is something that is inside. It's an inner joy. It's an inner hope, an inner peace. And I have that joy. And I hope y'all do too. But anyway, I want you to come over here, and I can't believe that about that chicken, but I want you to see this now. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep on cooking it. See how slow I'm cooking it? I'm cooking it real slow. I got it on about 2 or 3 over here. And I cut one piece a little bit thicker than the other, so I'm going to have to cook it just a tad longer. But what I'm going to do is turn this off, and I'm going to show you how much grease is in it. And I got this at the pig, and it's not with the regular meat. It's up there with the salt pork, this stuff. So this says cured salt pork fatback. And your kids would love this. That rind on it's so crispy and good. And I love it. I mean, I do. And you can use the other. I'm going to fix some other things this week, and I'll use some of it in that too. Okay, I'm going to turn this off for a minute and finish cooking it. Then I'll turn it back on and let you see how good it's going to be, okay? Okay, y'all, it's almost done. And so I want you to see something that I did to it. Let's get you right here where you can see that pan. Something I did to it that I forgot to tell you. As it's cooking, I take 2 forks and sorry, y'all, phone rang again. Lord have mercy. Anyway, you press this meat. And that way the fat, okay, well it just rang again. So I don't know, maybe that's about 6 times while I'm trying to do this. But it's time to take this up. So what you're going to do, okay, it rang again. So this is ready. I'm going to take it up, and I just want you to see it in the pan. And I want, all right, maybe that's the last phone call. Anyway, I want y'all to see the amount of grease that's in it, and see how crispy this looks. It is crispy. And you want it at least that brown. You know, you can kind of see. But like I say, some people flour it, but the reason I don't flour it is because I want to cook mine a really long time. I imagine this cooked probably 20 minutes because I always like mine really done and really crispy, and I want all that grease to be out of it that's possible. So I'm going to do this out like that now. Put it on my little plate, and that's ready for supper with some biscuits and syrup. But anyway, that is fatback, or some people call it streak of lean if it's got a streak of lean in it. But this one was not, and it's salt pork. But sometimes when you get it now, it'll be real salty. And so you might want to wash your meat a little bit as the whole piece before you actually fry it. And as I get older, you know, we get fat in the back. So I know why they call it fat back, because it makes sense. And something else I want to tell you about that, and now I've forgotten what it was, but it was important to me to tell you about that. I don't know what it was. But anyway, it's good stuff. It's good stuff, and you'll love it. I hope y'all have a good night tonight. It's kind of late in the afternoon right now for me, but because I wasn't able to cook this morning. But y'all have a great day, and be happy. Enjoy your life. Enjoy the joy that you feel in your heart, and live and live. Okay, talk to y'all later. Bye-bye. Hey, I'm back on. I forgot to tell y'all how crispy it is. And it's real salty. So it's, if you like salty, which I do, This is the way to go. Talk to y'all later. You only eat just a little old bitty piece of it. Bye-bye.